The main reason for opposing PC culture is because it promotes censorship. The idea of having a PC nation is the idea of placing rhetoric and thought in the hands of the government, and that violates freedom of speech, as we see in the First Amendment. And I think the reason people like to uh, propose a PC culture is because of a fear of taking offense or other people being offended, which is a value that I appreciate and understand, and I believe no one should ever have to feel offended per se. But I do think that it inhibits on our rights as humans to take offense, which limits thought and challenging thought. It limits our ability to think outside of our norms, outside of our think boxes, I guess. Um, Once we stop allowing people to take offense, then no progress comes in human thought and human understanding. I also believe that PC culture not only does it promote censorship, it promotes damaging the arts. A lot of talk has come about from comedians such as Jerry Seinfeld or Chris Rock about how PC culture affects comedy. And as a comedian, I am a little biased, but I do feel that PC culture censors not only comedians but filmmakers, painters, drawers, or all artists are affected by PC culture because no one person is going to like anything. You can't make art to appeal to everyone. That's why we have art. But once we limit it with PC culture, then it loses its purpose. So, and a lot of people, PC culturists as I choose to call them, argue that PC culture does not necessarily limit art because art can be tailored to fit within that culture, but once that is done, then art loses meaning because it is not up to the perceiver of art to define what it is. It's up to the artist to make art and then let whoever appreciates that come. Some say that PC culture is about accountability. It's about people being held accountable for what they say, the offensive things they say, and that often ties into racism, sexism. I once heard somebody say, "You're never going to hear a black person opposing PC culture," but that's not true. As I said before, Chris Rock no longer plays college campuses because young people are being raised in this PC culture and they no longer appreciate art or thought or speech for what it is. They listen for the buzzwords. They listen for someone to say like something racial, something sexual, something that they can say, well, that's racist, that's sexist, that's this, that, or the other thing, which that may be. It may be racist or sexist, but as humans, we need to have at least the right to say that. We need to be able to say racist things so that other people may decide that it's not acceptable. I'm not condoning racism, but I'm condoning the ability to choose whether or not we are racist or sexist, and then other people get to decide that that's not what they feel. We cannot have preemptive strikes on thought. So, and once we do that, it becomes part of superiority. It feeds into the superiority complex of, oh, well, I'm better than you because I don't think that way. And that is the opposite of, I think people who support PC culture would oppose that type of thinking because PC culture is about everyone, about appreciating other people's differences, but it becomes a very superficial difference. It becomes, oh, I appreciate you because you look different, your culture is different. Maybe superficial is the wrong word, but it becomes less about I appreciate you because you think differently, but I appreciate you because you are different, which is a very key distinction. So while I appreciate and respect the intent behind a PC culture, in fact, I might say I support that intent. The intent is to make sure people are comfortable, make sure people are happy. The idea is to make sure no one has to feel offended. I think there are fundamental flaws in saying who gets to decide what is offensive and what isn't offensive. And that's where PC culture becomes dangerous. Once we let politicians decide, once we let governments decide, we've lost. We cannot let other people decide what is offensive to us. If someone says something and I find it offensive, that's my decision. I decide it's offensive, and I don't have to stand for it. But someone else gets to decide that they don't think it's offensive, and I have no control over that. We only have control over ourselves and how we think. And once we let other people limit that thinking, we can no longer educate.